Hello YouTubers and Odyssey people. Well, I'm going to do a part 5 to this motorcycle deal. Bike's already done, as you can see back over here. Taking it out for its run. And very cold-blooded, seems to run really well. And then you saw that in all part 4. But talking with Keith, we're looking at this gas tank, and gas tank was one on eBay with a dent in it, and it looks like somebody dumped the bike and slid it down a gravel road for about 5 miles on the one side of the tank, and they wanted $2.99 for it. Probably get it. So we thought that maybe we should spend some time in this to see if I can't get that scale out of there, and then seal the tank. So first part is getting it degreased, and then I have some other parts here. I ordered the tank sealer on Amazon. Here we go. Hello YouTubers and Odyssey people. I'm just messing around with the camera. Here it is Saturday, and we're going to spend a whole day doing this gas tank. I've never done a gas tank before. I've researched as much as I can research. I've got my old clothes on in case something, well, at least the clothes I always wear. But it sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, I've got my old clothes on in case I spill anything on me. Got my Joe Biden hat on. I didn't want to get my DeSantis hat all dirty. It's okay to get this one dirty. Tank. I have a little drain pan here. And then I have a place to put the tank while it's doing its business. Kind of eating away at whatever. Well, it's not going to be eating away. We're going to be trying to get all this rust out of there. And let me zoom in a little bit and see if you can see a little bit more. I think you've seen this before, but let's see if we can get a picture of it. Yeah, see how the crust down in there? You can see it. It's kind of flaky. And I looked way back in the tank, way back in here, let's look at the other side. The other side is a lot worse. This would be the sitting on the bike. This would be the left-hand side. That one's just a little bit more. But if you look back farther, I don't know if I can get you an angle. Let's see if we can get the angle. See, it's a little cleaner back there. I think that's where the gas that was in this was sitting. So I think I'm thinking, let me back up here, that most of the rust in the tank is from here forward. So that's where that's at. I did pick up a few extra tools to do this job. I still have to go get the vinegar. Still have to go get the gallons of vinegar. But let's get this back, okay. But I went to Lowe's, picked up this Craftsman. It's Flex. It flexes. And it's got a magnet on the end. I have 7 pieces of this chain, and it sticks on the magnet. And we're going to use these pieces of chain to rattle around in that thing to break that stuff loose. Plus I picked up a brush. I picked this brush up from Home Depot. It's called it's for a refrigerator. What do they call this? The evaporator cleaner brush. It's when you get that dust in your evaporator, and if you know what an evaporator is, and you clean all the dust out of the back of your refrigerator, like you should, every once in a while. Pull it out. I pull mine out every year. Well, yeah, I did pull it out every year. I do pull it out every year. I clean around it because we drop stuff because it's right next to one of our counters down the side, and I clean the side, and then I make sure that evaporator coil is clean. Not everybody pulls it out every year. There are people that's, it's been back there 20 years, It's not working now. It's not running right. Okay, well, your evaporator coil. A lot of times that evaporator coil gets so dirty back there, it'll basically kill your refrigerator because it just overheats everything and burns the compressor out. So it's always important to clean those out. Pull that refrigerator out at least maybe every 2 years and give it a vacuum. I pull my dryer out about every 2 years and give that a vacuum. It might not need it, but I get back in there and clean it just because it can cause a fire. So, along with all my other little magnets, what else I have? Oh, I made this quite a few years ago. It's an old heat bottle. I cut the bottom off it and cut the top off it. I'm going to use this to pour all the Simple Green into. I have some Simple Green in a bunch of little bottles, and I use this stuff 100%. I don't cut it with any water. They say you can cut it, I don't know, 50-50. I don't know what it says on the back of on the container. I don't. I use it 100%. It's great stuff. And I might finish it off with some, I have some Pine Sol. Pine Sol has a good cleaning, etching action too. So there's all kinds of stuff. I've seen people, what the one, I can't remember. You can go out and buy a degreaser, but Simple Green's a degreaser. There's that purple stuff that's supposed to be pretty good. Stuff that Lowe's sells. Is it Home Depot? I think it's maybe it's Home Depot. It's Zep 505. That's pretty close to what Simple Green is. It's I think it's like $9 a gallon, and Simple Green is like $17-18 a gallon. So this stuff is pretty expensive, but it does a good job. That's what I used I sprayed a bunch of that Simple Green in one of these containers here. I sprayed that all over Keith's bike right before, and I let it sit, and then I went around, agitated it a little bit before I rinsed it off that first time. Or no, I just went right to soap, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I went right to soap. I soaked it in Simple Green, agitated it, and then started washing it with soap, and which was on the video. And it came up pretty clean. It's nice and shiny. Alright, back. These little Simple Greens, I have these all over the house. Some in the kitchen, the bathrooms. I have 2 bathrooms. I have one in the garage for just cleaning stuff. Look at me. Do I get that thing tight down? Whoops. Hang on. This thing tight? Yeah. Okay. And it's off. Okay. Okay. Alright, back. Wasn't sure I'd tighten that shut-off deal underneath or not. But I use these a lot, so. Alright, let's give it a little extra kicker here. Oh, watch out! Cascade effect. Alright. Back there. Junk. Woohoo! Okay. So that's 2. I'm going to have to get another key. This is the only key that Keith has, so I'm going to have to go get him another key made for his motorcycle. You can't just have one key. You lose one of the other keys and you're going to be up the creek without a paddle. Alright. Time to have fun. I'm going to try to do this about every 15 minutes. Come down here and just shake it up. Start from the top. Shall we sing Jingle Bells? Jingle Bells. It's that time of year. Man. Strangers. Christmas is next week. All right. take a peek and see what we just did there in a few minutes. See how safe put screws and stuff in there. But I was too scared to put screws in this because the tank is just kind of weirdly shaped on the sides. Let's see. Wow, that's kind of cool. Knock some of that stuff down. Yeah, knock some of the stuff down. Remember before we had, remember that stuff was kind of chunky? Knocked it down quite a bit. Yeah, that side too. Yeah, still some in there. I'm going to try to take the brush that, and see what we can do. And you can't see them. You can't see me brushing this. Just get there. Still pretty chunky. I think that probably more than likely that vinegar in here is gonna do the job. Start using this in the vinegar. I had this thing all the way up to here, so that's pretty far. Getting back down in there. Alright. Wow, broke up a lot of that stuff back there. Just the stuff out front here. Screwdriver's breaking up some of it here. Okay. Put the lid on it. Do some more shaking. See the kind of chunky stuff that comes out of this, huh? Alright, there we go. So all the chunky stuff is up here in the front. The chain's up front. Alright, I'm going to let her sit for about 15 minutes. Go up, set my timer for 15 minutes. And then I'll come back and we'll do this all over again. I'm not going to tape every 15 minutes, but I'm going to go do this about 4 more times. And then we're going to drain the water out and see what comes out. I think the brush is doing good. Scraping off to see what I can dig up out of my toolbox. Now I got the motorcycle right in the way of, I think I will have some little brushes, toothbrush or something. Maybe I can tape it to a stick or something. Alright, so we'll be back in a little bit and we'll see what happens with the tank. Alrighty. Alright, we're back. We're a little hour and a half, whatever. Something wrong there, and gone through quite a few little scratches. Did some cleaning with the brushes. I had my little toothbrush here. Where is it? There it is. Put it on a piece of pipe that I had. Use a screwdriver very carefully to, you know, clean down in there. Of course, we came back with the wire brush quite a few times, and I think it cleaned up rather well. Let's zoom in a little bit and put the light in there that you can see. And yeah, the scale it's better. It looks darker in this thing on this camera, but it's just surface rust. That is now surface rust. Let's flip it around to the other side and see how we did over there. This is the left-hand side that always seemed to be the worst. Yeah, that cleaned up rather well. Look at that. Got some stuff down in there to need to probably work on. But I think the vinegar probably take care of the rest. So what I'm going to go do now is take out the bottom plug and drain this. See what kind of stuff came out of this. Like I said, I think the vinegar is probably the one that's going to do the finishing touch on this. Just wanted to get the grease. They say grease, but you're wanting to get the gas varnish, this rust. I think the vinegar is gonna probably do most of the trick, but it's kind of a pre-wash. A lot of stuff out of this crap. Oh yeah, look at that. Getting quite a bit of rust out of there. Well, it's hard to get all the watch me tip this thing. Look at all the crud there. Look at all that. Oh, there's more rust. Other rust down there. Yes, did a good job. Let's see how the rust is on this end. There we go. Look at all that. There we go. That's all the crap that came out of it. All right, well, we know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing here. It's working well. So I'm gonna not bore you with getting the chain out. So we'll get the chain out, and then we're gonna go back in with vinegar. I don't know, maybe I leave the chain in there. I shouldn't need the chain with the vinegar. Vinegar should do its own thing. One way you can do it, and the other way is the vinegar. And I've seen people compare electrolysis with the vinegar deal, and the vinegar seemed to do a better job. So that's why I'm going with the vinegar. Not that the other one doesn't look kind of cool. I might want to try that sometime, but for right now with this one, we just want to get it done for Keith. So, all right, we're going to be back with the vinegar. I'm going to run to Walmart, pick up about 4 or 5 gallons of vinegar, and we're going to fill this thing to the top and let it soak. Well, I was able to get all the chains out. See how dark this chain? This chain wasn't chrome. It was a used one that I just happened to have. These are chains from a storm door, spring deal. Had extra ones, and then we had a whole bunch of extra ones we get with kits, and if we don't use them, then we just save them. So this simple green, if it sits for a while in something like I soak a carburetor, if I soak it a little bit too long, it turns the carburetor dark. But here's what's left over. Here's all the stuff that came out of the tank. All right, so I'm gonna save this other container here And once we do the vinegar deal, I'm going to see what comes out of it in the vinegar, how that works. So we'll have two different things to look at and compare. Alright, that's all. Alrighty, got back from getting the vinegar. I got 5 gallons of vinegar, and then I bought some baking soda. Had kind of a time getting the vinegar because, here I'll show you. Let that focus. There we go. All they had is this 1 gallon of vinegar. That's all they had left. So I went down to the cleaning aisle and I found some cleaning vinegar. So the cleaning vinegar and the white vinegar, of course I had to get 2 of these. So this one was, I think, $3.30, $3.40. This was like a $1.97, so just a few cents more for the cleaning vinegar versus the distill. I mean, you can't use this for. I use vinegar for when I make pickled jalapenos and banana peppers. I grow those and I pickle them. So I use this distilled vinegar. So that's where we're at. And then I picked up some baking soda. I'm going to have to neutralize this with about, I think it was half a cup or a cup to a gallon. Cup of baking soda, I think 1 cup to a gallon or half a cup to a gallon. I'll have to look and I'll let you know. To throw in the tank to neutralize that vinegar. Yeah, I showed it on the last one. Did I show that? Yeah, I did. Showed the starting to dry a little bit now. That all that gunk I got out of the. Yeah, this is all the gunk that came out of that tank, and then there's a little bit more in there. I think that we'll see what the vinegar takes out. That'll be kind of a neat little experiment, and getting to the end of getting this tank taken care of. So the vinegar goes in, sits for 24 hours. We'll see what we get out of the tank. I might let it sit another 24 hours, and we'll might have to do a double boiling of this. So, not boiling, but etching, whatever, cleaning. Alright, so I'll see you tomorrow. Here we are 19 hours later. Different shirt. It's Sunday. I ended up staying up last night watching the Viking game. I missed it yesterday. It was like yesterday morning. I didn't hear about the big win till the afternoon, and then I happened to be flipping through the channels last night about 11:30, and here they had the game on again. I came in around halftime when it was still, I think, 30-0 or something like that. That was one hell of a game. I was up till 2:30 this morning. Surprised I'm up this early, but I've been itching to see how this is. This is all foamy last night. You couldn't see it. It was like the vinegar. It was like a white fog. You couldn't even see into the tank very far. And this morning, you can look. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I can actually see. Let me see. Let me get the light down in there. Here you go. I can see the top of the tank. I can see the top. What we've been looking at. It was all rusty. And it was full all the way up to the very top. It was full all the way up to here, and it has sunk down. When I put some in the other day, I was hitting the tank trying to get the bubbles out of it. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is get my little siphon some off the top. I got a little baster. Take some off the top, and then I'm going to run that big long brush I had through it, and that toothbrush on a stick, and see about getting that all agitated. And then I'll bring you back when I go to dump it out. We'll see what kind of chunks we have. All kinds of chunks come out of it. Hitcot's cleaner. Look at that. Look how clean that is. Wow. Stuff really did a number. Still a few little chunks in there, which I think I can knock off with the... This was the bad side. Yeah, some stuff down in there. A few little chunks of rust there. Not bad though, like that. Let's see if I can... Hang on. Just trying to get a different angle. Looking back towards the back of the tank. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. There's the stuff there. You can see stuff in the bottom of this. I might straighten this out, clean this, and let it soak some more. Alrighty, let's see what we see. This is what we got with the Simple Green, and here's the chunks. Look at all that stuff. That's what came out with the vinegar. I did run it, what left of that, through a filter. Filter really didn't, it filtered a little bit out. It was a little bit black, but not as bad as this, so I just threw it away. I didn't keep it. But that's pretty bad. Window cleaner. When I spilled the vinegar on it, I tell you, it really shines this tank up, man. Still, you can see a little bit wet there, but if you look back, that tank really shines. Really shines. So we're going to let that sit for another 4 or 5 hours, probably about 5 hours, and then we're going to go at it and drain it out again, and then I'll probably start to dry out the tank so that we can seal it. Looking good so far. Alright, I'm back. It's been 6 hours. I had to watch the Chief game. They won. They didn't win because of the kicker. The kicker missed the first field goal, and then they were in overtime. They were tied up, and all I had to do was put it in between the uprights. Screwed it up again. So then they finally got a hold of it. They recovered a fumble. The Chiefs recovered a fumble, and they were able to get it in and won the game. So now they're the head of division. Yay! And now Vikings are head of division too. That's my team. So, so I've been looking at this, and 6 hours later, and it still hasn't gotten clear. Not clear like it was this morning. We could see down top of the tank, so it's still pretty foggy. I did clean out the tub that I have for the Simple Green one, and here's all the powder. I'm going to put this in a baggie for Keith after I get all of it. There's some of the stuff from this morning, but here's the stuff from the Simple Green. Look at all that. That all came out of the tank. Look at that. Jeez. Jeez. Okay. Well, let's pour out this vinegar. See what we come up with. Let's get this thing down. When we stuff in here. Oh yeah, got some big chunks out of it. Got a screwdriver in there. Before I put this full of vinegar and got down in there. Scraped it all out. We've got for slag, but I got quite a little bit in there. I think I'm gonna go get my little shop vac out of my, get the shop vac out of my truck and hook a little hose to it. See if I can't suck that little bit that's still in there. It's in this container. It's I got about a cup per half gallon here. That's what I'm using. And dump that in there. Get in the bucket. Jeez. Much crap came out of that. A bunch of crap came out of this one. Look at all that. Ah. Alright. Seems like we got all of it, but we're going to put some microfiber towels in there and sop up the rest. Didn't want to knock over my tripod. It's a crazy girl. I got some water out of that one. Let's put another one in. Hit this with some. Spill water all over the place here. There we go. Nice and shiny again. Tell you ever want your tank to be shiny, just dump vinegar over it, let it sit for a while. Go back with some window cleaner. Boy, I tell you what. I can see myself. Alright. I got a needle nose around here somewhere. There it is. Alright. Let's take a look at how shiny this tank is. It's shiny. Look at that. Look how clean that tank is. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Shiny. That was the worst side. That's the left-hand side. It looks kind of rough in the camera, but it's clean. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm looking through the lens, the little screen here, but it's clean. It is nice and clean. So now, you get Flo's hair dryer, put the hair dryer on it for a while, get it nice and dry, and then we're going to put that sealer in it. I'll come back when I'm ready to go in with the sealers and we've got the tank dry. We want this tank super dry. This has to sit for 96 hours, which I think is like 4 days, but I'm going to probably let it sit for 7 days. Here's the stuff we got out of the second one. That's all the junk that came out of the second one. And then I had another bucket. When I rinsed it out for the last flush, this is all the stuff that was from that too. So, well, quite a bit of this stuff to keep when we're all done, and there's still the pile from the very beginning. So, all right, tank's dry, and we're ready to start putting in this stuff. You're not supposed to shake it up or anything. You're supposed to stir it. So we're going to stir it. Alright, here's a little funnel I'm going to throw away. This is what I've been using pretty much all day today. Alright, we're going to pour all of this into here. All of it. Every last drip. Drop, 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 drop. Alright, that's good. Not much on the bottom. Alright. So I'm going to take this thing. And I'll set it here. I'll wipe all this crap off my screwdriver. And we're going to start coating the tank. Okay. Oh, I guess the battery must have died. Alright, so I'm just kind of keep spinning this thing around and hoping something, just keep coating it till we get a nice big even coat. Alright. Yeah, I almost forgot. This is all the stuff that came out of that gas tank. That's all. This is a little baggie. That's all the rust and stuff that came out of that tank. Isn't that crazy? Look at all that crap. Alright, it's done. Hello YouTubers, it's New Year's Eve and we're going to finish this up and I'm going to post it. The bike is done and we ended up with we were at 204 and all the other stuff, and then on the Walmart stuff, the vinegar, and then the that sealer, that paint sealer for the inside of the tank. So we're around, that's a 5, so yeah, about 249. Yeah, so around 249, and then I had a little accident. I got my foot stuck underneath the. I was wearing these high boots, the ones that come all the way up to your knees. Usually ones I kind of walk through water with or flooded out places, and I just threw those on and backed up the car and then came forward, and I went to hit the brake and my foot went between the brake and the gas pedal, and then I got my foot stuck underneath the brake, and I slow motion went through 2 panels the garage door. I feel like such a dumbass. Well, we lost some footage on this to show what the inside of the tank looks like, and you can see it there. Yeah, looks nice. This is silver color. So hopefully garage door guy's supposed to come out on Tuesday. So I'll be taking this bike up to Keith on Tuesday, and I'll be done with it. So it's been an interesting project. I tell you what, putting that tank on and then getting that little gas line up underneath, because I had to take the gas line off under the tank before I pulled it up. That was interesting. And then getting the seat on. I tell you what, I don't know who figured out those screws for the seat, but man, you really had to manipulate that seat around to get that bolt in there started on both sides. It was a bear. I think I'd rather do the carbs a couple times than put that seat on once. Oh my gosh. But hey, it's done. Keith will have a nice bike to ride next year. And so we're all done with this one. It was an interesting one. I hope everybody enjoyed it. So this is Rick. Be nice to your neighbor. Try to take a deep breath here. I'm wondering what 2023 is going to bring. That will be tomorrow. Hopefully it's better than this last year, and hopefully things in the economy get better. All right. Bye.